Yo, what's up, man? Welcome back to another episode. It's episode 24 of Beyond the Game. And we got a lot to cover today, man, especially after it was a crazy night of high school football and college football. Florida State loses, and man, our game of the week was interesting. I'm Jordan, your host, Jordan Barrett, with the quarterback, Brandon Bullins. How you doing today, Brandon?
Pretty good, brother. How are you?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. Hoping Alabama can get a win today. I don't even know how good we are anymore after Florida State had 40 put on their head and we struggled to score 17. But we'll get into that a little bit later, man. It was week 6 around high school football, and our game of the week took us out to Charlotte, where number 6 West Charlotte went to Mallard Creek. And geez, this final score was something. West Charlotte would get the win, 32-9. Man, West Charlotte, they came out in the first drive of the game. They fumbled, but Mallard Creek couldn't turn that into points. It seemed like neither team could really score any points off of turnovers because West Charlotte would get a interception later in the game. But West Charlotte I believe it was a few drives later, they would take about a 60-yard slant for a touchdown. And then they would score again before Mallard Creek would even get on the board. They were able to kick a field goal, making the score 13-3. But then Mallard Creek, a few drives later, came down and scored, making the score 13-9. It looked like it was going to be a good game, but Mallard Creek's offense kind of sputtered out from there. West Charlotte would go. It was pretty much all West Charlotte from there. They would have a 62-yard run, a 92-yard run. Their quarterback went 13 for 20. He had 3 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Brandon, what are kind of your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I mean, big win for West Charlotte here. Obviously, with the score being of what 3 or 4 possession game, they dominated outright. I mean, and it's also one of those things where you said, I believe, a 62-yard run and a 92-yard run. As a defense, man, they're just killer. Those are absolute daggers. Whenever you're trying to fight back, you kind of have some momentum, and the next thing you know, a 62-yard touchdown just ripped off. That's heartbreaker, man. But shout out to
Yeah,
West Charlotte for getting the big time win there.
yeah. I think that's an interesting win, especially just when Mallard Creek went down to Georgia and got pretty much handled. We kind of thought it
Manhandled.
was we kind of thought it was a fluker, or we just thought maybe that was just a better team. Like that team was ranked in the top 5 nationally. Um, but then coming in today, oh man, our last night, that was not. They were in the game. They were in the game. When you go make it 13-9, but then like you just can't put up any points. I kind of like, yeah, you got to put up. I mean, yeah, you got to get stops as a defense, but man, offense, we've got to put up some points because 9 points isn't. You're not gonna beat anybody with 9 points nowadays.
Yeah,
But then
I think we've only seen one game this season where a team has scored less than 10 points and has won, and the other
yeah,
team just also so happened to score less than 10 points. So, I mean, it was
yeah.
a
What was
seven to
that? Was that
six
Oak
game. It was
Grove?
ugly. Yeah, Oak Grove and Reagan, I believe it was, like week 1 or week 2.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But man, let's take a look at some other scores around the state. Um, Man, we had Butler and Chambers. Um, Butler would get the win. Number 25 Butler would get the win over Chambers, 23-12. Number 16 Charlotte Catholic would go to Porter Ridge and get the win, 14-13. Um, Number 12 Millbrook was on the road at Roseville. Number 6 Roseville, they would get the win, 28-7, which is surprising. Grimsley at home would roll again, 66-6. And then what I don't know why I thought this was going to be a good game. Maybe I'm crazy, but Reedsville and Carver. Reedsville would get the win 44-8. um, Page, hey, Dudley got them another win this week. They were at home against Page. They got the win 21-7. Hoggard, the number 11 team in the state, would get the win 34-7, and Watauga will go on the road and get the win 49-7. Brandon, looking at some of these scores, we'll kind of touch on East and West playing next week a little bit later, but look at some of these scores. What really sticks out to you? Oh, Brandon is not. I didn't even. All right. But I think it's good that not Page, Dudley got them a win though, because Dudley kind of started off the season a little rough. Everybody was kind of, or at least I was kind of looking around, wondering what was going on with them, and, I'm glad that they were able to go get that win because they were struggling to get some wins early on in the season. Um, yeah, and then like I said, I don't know why I guess I was crazy why I thought Reedsville and Carver was going to be a good game. Carver came into this game undefeated. They were 4-0, but they just couldn't get it done. They just weren't able to get it done. All right. Oh, Brennan's back. All right, Brennan. I was kind of talking about this Dudley and Page game.
Mm.
What would you say? I say it was kind of good that Dudley was able to get them a win and get back on the winning side of things because it took them a little bit to kind of get going this season. They started off the season I believe 0-2, 0-3 maybe, but they're starting to get some wins here late.
Yeah, I think for Dudley, it's important. I think we talked about before where any team that starts off, struggling 0-2, 0-3, it's important to at least get the first win under the belt early in the season still. You don't want to wait till it's week 8, and by that time it's too late, right? Too late to turn the
Yeah.
season around. But from earlier in the season perspective, if you were to get the first win, now you can very manageably turn that into 2 or 3, and now as we're seeing with Dudley, looks like they're going to go on and actually have a pretty successful season still. So hopefully they can continue their win streak, um, and just continue to have. I think the last few games have been close. I think we're going to start to see a turning of the tides where they're going to pull away earlier in the game rather than right there at the end. And then
Mm.
I think we're gonna see them starting to get back to their form of being a really good team in the area.
I hope so. I hope so for their sake. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
But then Grimsley, did you see anyone really challenging Grimsley like until the playoffs? I guess, or like, and then well, I guess when they get into the playoffs, who is a team that you think can? Because I believe they're in the same. They're right there with the Huffs and I believe Mallard Creek, those bigger schools in Charlotte.
Yeah, so I don't I don't see anybody in the regular season knocking off Grimsley, especially now. I think they're with their new quarterback, they're really having all the confidence in the world in him. They have no reason to change anything that they're doing at this point. Everything that
Yeah.
they're doing is working, and it's not only working, it's dominating. So for them, if they can roll into the playoffs, I at least see them going. I believe there's 6 rounds now. I feel like it would be a very disappointing season for them or playoff run for them if they don't make it at least to the fourth or fifth round. And even then, that's not going to be good enough for a team like Grimsley. They're used to winning state championships over there at this point now. So anything less than at least an appearance in the state championship game is going to be less than what they're looking for.
Yeah, no, I would agree 100%, especially with the way that they've been playing this season. I think every team says it, but it's only a few teams really believe it and know that it can happen, and it's championship or bust.
Yeah.
And I hope for them they're able to, because they're playing some dominant football right now. I just hope it can continue. But just looking ahead to next week, what I think will really be our game of the week is East versus West. That's going to be a big game. I think that's going to tell a lot about both teams' seasons. Because East has struggled here with they got a win over Ragsdale, but they lost to Grimsley, and then they came back and lost to Morrisville. Um,
Hmm.
I think in between they got the win over um, Ragsdale, but I just think they need this win to not only solidify. I mean, this is a conference game for one, um, but they need to really. I think they need this for their confidence to really put some confidence in this team, and really show that they can really compete with some of the better teams in the state.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I agree. And going back and thinking of East Forsyth regular seasons, there's only been, I think, 2 seasons that I can think of, maybe in the last 10 years, where they've lost more than 2 regular season
Two
games.
games, yeah,
Unfortunately, one of which was our senior year, but
yeah.
the other one was the COVID year.
Our senior year was very very a roller coaster year because we, like you said, we had stuff like that. We
Yeah,
lost to Glenn. We were the first school to lose to Glenn in what, 10 years?
it was a decade,
First,
yeah.
we were the yeah first team to lose to Glenn in 10 years. But then we went to Charlotte in the playoffs. We were losing, come back in that game, and then we become the first team at East Forsyth to win a game in Charlotte. And then it
Yeah,
was just like we just had it was a year. It
yeah,
was a
for
year
sure.
to say the least.
Up and down, man. Yeah, and the crazy thing is, even though we lost to, I believe, West Forsyth, who else?
All the
Glenn.
rivals, every rival,
Yeah,
every rival we had that year, we
just
got
for
beat.
some reason, like they had our number, but we still made it farther in the playoffs than them.
Then all of them, yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, what in the world is going on? But either way, going back to this game, yeah, like I said, there's only been a couple times that East has lost more than 2 games in the regular season. So for Coach Willer and the staff and the guys there, it is not a common occurrence for East Forsyth to not be, one of the top teams in the conference, the top team in the area. So I think with West Forsyth, they're going to have their hands full. And same thing for West Forsyth. It's not like East Forsyth's just a slap team
oh
this year,
yeah,
not even close. Both
yeah,
teams are going to have their hands full with each other.
yeah,
So it should be a really good game all the way through and through.
yeah. No, I agree. I don't know. I couldn't find the score for this Rockingham County and Walkertown game. I don't know if the game got rained out because I know a lot of games got rained out yesterday. Um, I don't not really sure what really happened with that one, but I hope Walkertown was able to get that win just because like they had a tough loss last week. I was really thinking about it. If you kind of take away that interception that they threw, that's a one score game, and there's no telling what you really do from there.
Mhm.
So that was just a tough loss that they took last week. Hopefully, they would have bounced back this week, and still compete for a conference championship.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
other than that, are there any other? Oh, go ahead, Brandon. My bad.
I was about to say if the game did get rained out, I'm wondering if and when they would play it because I imagine
Yeah,
that's a
make it up.
conference
Yeah,
rival at this point. So I think
yeah,
they'd have to play that and make that game up. I don't know when they would do it though.
yeah. No, 100%, 100%. Yeah, that's a good question. But back to that East and West game. Both teams are coming off buys this week. I
Mm.
think that'll be
Mm.
interesting. Look to see what kind of wrinkles get thrown into the offensive game plan
Yeah.
this week. Um, but speaking of wrinkles, man, it was week 5 and it's week 5 in college football. It got kicked off here in North Carolina. ECU Army. ECU was able to get the win. They scored 21 points fast, but could not score much after that. Um, they would end up getting the win 28 to 28 to what was it, 6 or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
it was something like that.
But last night, last night, Florida State went down early in the first quarter, 14-0, and that caught my attention. I said, "Wow, can Virginia really do it?" But then once they tied it up, I didn't think so. But Brandon, they did it in double overtime. In double overtime, the Florida Seminoles got knocked off by the damn Virginia Cavaliers on the at home in Virginia.
Mhm.
Man, what did you watch the game? What were kind of your thoughts on
Yeah, I was kind
your
of
prediction?
in and out, tuned in and out of it. I saw going into the fourth quarter, it was a close game, and I was thinking, man, Florida State, they've been fighting back this whole time. I think they'll pull away with it, and clearly Virginia hung in there, man. Like you said, they went up
Yeah, they
early,
did.
kept the pressure on. I saw it was like I think it was tied up 21 nothing or 21-21 at half. But yeah, man, I opened my eyes this morning, checked my phone, and saw, that fourth down conversion that they try to go for, and Virginia just rushed the field after. So that's a big time
Yep.
win for that program, and I think they're 4-1 now, knocking
Yeah,
off a ranked opponent. So they should be kind
they should be
of knocking
ranked
on the
this
door
week.
of being ranked after this week.
Yeah. I think their only loss was to NC State, and NC State's proven to be a pretty good football team this year.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so I think we'll see how that plays out. But at the end of the game, I hope those two players were able to get up. Like they just storm. I'm like, I hope they were able to get up. But and somebody needs to check on that receiver that bobbled the ball because Lord knows, oh man, he got some. He probably got some hate mail, some death threats last night.
Yeah, you need to stay off social media for a good 48
Yes,
hours.
yeah. You just uninstall it at this point. But I think it's bigger than that because if you're Mike Norvell, when you go and talk to your team, you gotta. We were down 14-0 at the beginning of the game. We came and tied the game up, which essentially made the game 0-0 again.
Mhm.
We allowed them to control the football game from there. Like this Virginia team, maybe not on defense, but on offense, they're for real. Like
Yeah.
that's they're for real offense. And you got any other thoughts on this game? Because I was happy to see it as an Alabama fan. But what is going on with us though? Like I
Yeah.
understand that was week one of college football, but like I'm gonna just mark it up to that. It was week one, and offense it was week one. We didn't know what we had. We didn't know what
Yeah.
we had. I'll just
Yeah. Last point on this game, like you said, Virginia's offense does look legit after this game. I think this game solidified that as a whole. We've talked before about Florida State's D line or Florida State's defense, and for Virginia to just outright control the game, like you said, from basically
yeah,
the get go, going up 14 points like it was nothing. I think that kind of proves how dominant this Virginia team and how dangerous the team could actually be.
it actually be 1,000%, 1,000%. So I think that is the ACC just proven to be the same old ACC. Like is this what we're getting at? And they're
No,
only going to get.
what?
You
What?
said what?
No, man. The ACC, nah, man. They're top dog around here.
No,
Nah, nah.
I don't. Do they get two teams into the playoffs?
Um, I think with the 12, they might. It depends on how the other conferences kind of shake out. I think the Big Ten is just honestly kind of really strong, and obviously the SEC. I mean, we'll have to see how those shake out, but I think it's a possibility.
No, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I think if they put two in from the ACC, they put in two from the Big 12, and I don't
Yeah.
think they're gonna put in two from the Big 12. So, um, but today we've got a full slate of games. Starting on noon on Fox, Illinois. Illinois has to bounce back after that. That was straight belt. They played them like they played Indiana. Beat them like they were playing a group of five, a group of six at this point, group of 16. Like they straight up spanked those boys.
It was
Like
ugly.
that was bad. I don't understand. If you're Brett Bielema, what the hell you say after that? Like
Dude, I honestly like I couldn't even tell you because you're ranked in that game because I believe last week there were what 9 or 19.
9. Yeah,
Yeah, there were
9.
nine,
Yes.
9, and they go out and get 63 hung on them and only put up 10.
10
Like
points.
dog. Like I don't know if it's just an outright fluke game where they just got the game got taken away from them early and they just never had a chance to fight back. I don't know
No,
what
we have
happened.
bad games. We've seen bad games, and I don't know that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like
Hey,
they just
let's
got
mark it up
exposed.
to a bad game.
It looks like they just got exposed. Well, maybe they'll bounce back. We'll see this week. But then again, they also have
Hopefully,
another ranked opponent, so it's like if they want
yeah,
to get back to their former glory of 2 weeks ago, they need to go out and not just win this game. They need to go out
and
and
dominate.
dominate this game.
They better have Lincoln Riley and them boys scratching their head after this one because
Yeah.
this is even a close game. Man, LSU and Ole Miss is at 3:30 on ABC. Um, well, let's go back. Who you got for this USC Illinois game?
Uh, I think I got USC. I think
Yeah,
Lincoln Riley.
yeah,
I think offensive mind has always been top notch. I think they're just going to run. I don't know if they're going to run circles around Illinois, but I think early on they might make the adjustments and whatnot, and then second half they'll just pull away.
no, yeah. Um, you can't even pick Illinois after what they put on film
Mm,
last week.
mm.
Nah. But LSU Ole Miss number 4 LSU traveling down to Ole Miss. Ole Mississippi. Or traveling up, let me say. Um, but I don't know. We have so many good games. I hesitate to say like the, but I want to see who really comes out and really because LSU has shown that they have one of the more dominant defenses in college football. Their
Mhm.
secondary is legit. They're they're just for real. And so I think if you're Ole Miss, you got to get out to a fast start. Um, and did you see Lane Kiffin? um,
Oh.
they're talking about take the over. Um,
Take the over, man. Take the
he's
over. I love it.
he's going to be trying to expose those linebackers today.
He's fired up. He is
Yeah,
fired
yo,
up
yeah,
today.
he is. Yeah, he is. So we'll see. I don't know what the over under is on this game, but like Lane said, I'm gonna take the over. Hopefully, Gary Nussmeier can keep up. I guess we'll see. Um, but then over on ESPN at the same time, we have Auburn going down to Texas A&M. Um, I don't know if Texas A&M is for real. I don't ever think Texas A&M is for real. I just think Texas A&M has to play somebody and they'll get exposed. I yeah, I don't think we've ever said, "Hey, Texas A&M can go win them a national championship this year." Come
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very
on
good point.
now. So yeah, I don't. Auburn has shown that they have holes after they lost to. Then they beat Baylor. They have some holes in their defense. Their defense was supposed to be their strong point, but it's not what it really was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Um, who you got in this one?
I think it'll be a close one all the way through and through. I think if Auburn can get up early, I think they hold on to the lead, but if they get behind, they're gonna have a tough time fighting back against this Texas A&M team. But I think Auburn should win this one. I think they will.
Yeah, I think Auburn is going to go in there. Yeah. Um, but up in Penn State, Old Happy Valley, uh, James Franklin. These are the games you haven't been able to win. Number 6 Oregon's coming into town to play number 3 Penn State. Penn State has beaten the teams they're supposed to beat. They've lost to the teams they're supposed to lose to. I'm not sure if they're favored in this game, but I know I'm never picking Penn State. Brandon, what are your thoughts on this game? Who do you have?
Yeah, so I'll say this. The energy is going to be electric, which is
Oh,
going to help Penn State in this game. It's a night game. It is a whiteout. And like you said, in Happy Valley, it's going to be a very, very dominant and tough environment for Oregon to walk into early on. But this is a high flying, strong offense Oregon team, no different than anything that we've seen over the last few seasons now, where Oregon has just outright been faster, has been
yep.
out scheming defenses. And honestly, like we said, the last few years, Penn State historically has struggled in these games that they are supposed to quote unquote win, even though they are like a higher ranked team, or this is supposed to be their year to go out and beat in Ohio State, beat a Michigan, beat a Oregon. Like we said, Franklin struggles in these kind of games. I think he's won once out of the last 13, 14 games against top 10 ranked opponents. So
Yep.
it's gonna be tough for Penn State. But once again, I think the environment helps him out. I think the overall juice of this game, like Penn State's gonna get up and get ready to go to play this game. They will. I do think Oregon is going to walk away with the win, though, on the road. And I think it's going to prove that Oregon is a very, very dominant team and a very well rounded team.
Well, I'm not a Dan Lanning fan. Um, I think this game is just going to be a matter of what it was last year for Penn State. Can you score inside the red zone?
Hmm.
Do you have the playmakers? They have the when they play lesser teams, they have the players to go out and beat lesser teams. But when they play the great teams, they don't. It's like the people go missing. I'll say that people go missing. Um, Seemed like last year the only thing they had was Tyler Warren, um, Drew Aller. Stop being a scrub. Like that's all I can. That's about the only way I can put it, bro. Stop being a scrub. Let's play some coherent football. Let's go win us a football game. I want Penn State to be good. I want Penn State to win this game just so. I mean, it's not like Oregon's gonna go win them a national championship. That O stands for zero national championships. They're not gonna go win them win them one
Wow.
anyway. So
Wow.
it doesn't really matter. um, but who would I rather see in the playoffs? I'd rather see Penn State than Oregon.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I agree.
I'll take
I
Oregon to
agree. I
win this
think
game.
we're on the same page. We're on the same page. I would love to see Penn State kind of get over the hump and actually make themselves a like true contender to go win it. Because yeah, there were
Especially in that
games
Big
short
Ten.
last year. Say that
Yeah.
again.
I said, especially in that Big Ten, whereas it's only
Yes.
really been two teams.
Yes. To throw a third team in the mix now being Penn State, I think it'd be a good shakeup to have. But yeah, and like you said, Drew Allar definitely, as we've seen in especially in some of those playoff games last year, got cold feet, or in the big games of the regular season last year, he got cold feet, and it hurts the team. I think against Ohio State last year, they only put up 10 points, 13 points. It was a very
They
defensive game all the way
they
through,
got
but
stopped in the red zone 3 times. 3 times with 0 points.
yeah, like
I'm
you
talking
can't
with
have
inside
that.
the 1 yard line though, like on the one. Can't
Like
score.
you
Like
can't
that.
have that.
No. 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 What do we
You
lift
can't
weights
have
for during the summer? During the winter? What are we out there running for, huh? Huh? To get 99 yards, but we can't get one?
that.
Bullshit. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But the game of the day, undoubtedly. My Tide will roll into Athens to spank some dog ass today. All right. All right. Number 17, Alabama. Ty Simpson, you better show the hell up today. Number 17, Alabama. It's going to Athens at 7:30 tonight on ABC. I'm actually upset that game day is going to Oregon, Penn State when they know that's not going to be a good football game. The best football game is going to be down in Georgia. I
Mm,
think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. Um, yeah, it's going to be a good game right now.
yeah.
Who you got? What you thinking on this?
I mean, Jordan, you can manifest that all you want. You can try to speak it into existence. I'd say no, I'm just chatting. But no, I do agree. I think Bama is going to get up and get going for this game. I think the coaching staff at Bama is going to,
BTA at
yeah,
Georgia.
BTA on Georgia. That's what you're calling right now, BTA.
BTA.
Oh shit. I'll put $1 on that.
Yeah.
I think Bama's going to get up and get going for this game, but this is a home game for Georgia, and those are very tough environments to walk into, especially against this has been the biggest SEC rivalry over the last 10 probably 5-10 years now. This game's going to be packed. It's going to be flooded. Tough environment. I think Georgia, higher team, is gonna pull this one out, but I think it will be a good game.
You know what some rivalries come from teams beating each other. This rivalry has come from us meeting each other in big games and us beating them. Okay? So they don't
Yeah.
like us.
Yep.
So I wouldn't necessarily call it a rivalry. It's just more like Georgia hates Bama. Bama continues to beat Georgia. Like it and it's going to continue to happen. Yeah, that's kind of it is what it is, and the tide will roll today. Um, like I said, we're gonna. My tone has changed after week one. Um, I don't see us losing too many more games this season. I think we will make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm here. I'm here for what Alabama has to offer for the rest of the season.
Let me ask you this: if Bama wins this game, makes it to the SEC championship, and loses, do they still make the playoff?
Are we 11-1, and then we're
Well, you'd
11-2 with that loss?
correct.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Who do we lose
technically,
to? Who do we lose to?
well, you already lost to Florida State, so you already got the
I'm
one loss on the
saying
year.
in the SEC championship, who would that loss be to?
Would it be against Georgia?
I mean, if we lose to Georgia, I don't think so because I don't know. I think even with two losses, you make the playoffs. I think the the borderline is going to be between those 2 and 3 loss teams this year. I think a lot of teams are going to have 1 or 2 losses, 1 to 2 losses. I think like your top 4 teams are probably going to be around that one loss, no undefeated to 1 loss range. But I don't necessarily think they're going to be any undefeated teams. I think there's too much parity in college football to just go out and win every football game. Or yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's kind of what we saw last night with Florida State. Because I think like they got up for that game against Alabama. Like they
Mhm.
were, and that's game 1 of the season. You prepare, you're ready for that. And so they may have just overlooked Virginia. Um, but yeah, I put this game on here. BYU, number 25 BYU at Colorado, because I will say after last week, the biggest problem, or okay, the first 3 weeks of the season, Colorado's offense was dog water. Like
Yeah.
you, just absolutely garbage. Last week, they got some rhythm and flows. They started scoring touchdowns. They made the offense look easy. I'm not saying that's fixing all their problems, but I will say like what they did looked like they could do it again. It looked like that looked like what their offense is supposed to look like.
Hmm.
And if they can put together, because I think this is a talented football team. They're fast. They
Yeah.
put this is a fast football team on both sides of the ball. I think when it comes to speed and athletically, they can play with anybody in the country. When it comes to the offensive line, hasn't given up a sack all season. Like, granted, they haven't. They're 2-2, but their offensive line hasn't given up a sack all season. Like, that's crazy. Well, that's according to PFF. Their offensive line, like, that's insane. And so, I think it comes down to stopping the run. They've proven they can run the football. This is the first time they've really been able to run the football up under Deion Sanders. Stopping the run and being efficient on offense. Brandon, what are your thoughts on this, and who do you have?
Well, yeah, going back to the O-line scenario, giving up 0 sacks, that's been a big talking point for Colorado, especially Dion, trying to get O-line in the room, or on the field rather. They gave up the most sacks over the last 2 seasons with Shador. Now, granted, I will argue that, from a quarterback, I'm watching Shador play. He held onto the ball a little too long. Some of those sacks were self-inflicted.
Yeah,
But as a whole, I think it was a good talking point. Like, hey, even though 20% of the sacks are on the quarterback, these other 80% of the sacks, that's on you, O-line.
yeah,
Like, we got to step this up. So with them going out, getting a better O-line, and with, like you said last week, they're starting to get their offensive rhythm back into a system. I think it's going to be interesting. Like you said, this game should be a good challenge for them. I think BYU
I agree.
has had a really good game against them. I believe they beat them the last 2 seasons, or it's been
Yeah,
close. And in both of them, either way, it should be a pretty good game. If Colorado can go out, they're at home, which is going to help them. So if they can go out and put up a few good drives, I think it's going to put BYU on the ropes. We'll see if they can go out and finish the job though.
if Shador Sanders had this offensive line, he already holds so many records at Colorado.
Mhm.
Imagine if Shador Sanders had this offensive line, and these guys blocking, and they were able to run the ball like this. Not only could they not pass block, but they did not. They couldn't run the football. So
Yeah.
Colorado, I'm not gonna say they. I think just based off of quarterback play alone, because we talk about how much quarterback play matters. I think they would have been competing. I mean, they were already competing for a Big 12 uh, title, but I think they would have. They could have won and been one of those teams in that one Big 12 team in the playoffs. Um, Now, who knows what happens from there? Because they don't like they had the talent outside, but like as far as in the trenches, like them against the Texas, they would not have done what Arizona State did against Texas
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
year. But that's a late kickoff, of course. They always put Dion and them boys late. That's over on ESPN at 10:30. But now in the NFL, it's week 5 around the league. Week 4.
Going to week 4. Week 4.
Yes, yes. This is moving right along though. Like the college, I mean, football season is moving along. So last Thursday we had um Seattle travel to Arizona. I thought that was had a few drops from Marvin Harrison. um,
Few.
Seattle would get the win 23-20. Arizona, the Cardinals though, I'm interested in seeing how the rest of their season plays out because they didn't play well to start the game, and I think if they would have played the first half like they played the second half, it would have been a much better game. But some of that does have to do with those drops by Marvin Harrison. Um, but yeah, what were your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, it was a good game. I was actually watching that game. A couple friends at a establishment. I won't say what it spells out. BAR. That's where we were at. But either way, um, no, it was a close game. I honestly thought Seattle was going to go out and win and dominate more than what they did.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was necessarily a lack of Seattle's production or if Arizona just was rather one of those things where they got up for that game and they had a little bit more intensity and whatnot. But no, it was a good game. I'm glad Seattle ended up winning that. I have always thought that Kyler Murray is the issue in Arizona. To be honest with you, I think they have talent, and Kyler Murray, just call it what it is. He's had one good season. Everything after that has been less than what a first overall pick should be. I mean, if you don't agree, then you're just wrong.
oh no, I 1000%. Like
Yeah.
1000%, because they had to write a clause in his contract to make him watch film.
It's like, dude, if you're doing that, what you don't deserve to be a quarterback in the league. Like, that's insane.
Bro, at this point, like, not trying to be funny, because he's still a good football player. But
Yeah.
like, why don't you just go play baseball? Like, because it's you see at times, I think maybe he just loves football a little bit more, but you see at times when it's like when he wants to, he can be really damn good.
Hmm.
But then other times, just like, kind of, what are we doing, bro? Like, are we even playing football today?
Yeah, I mean, you watch the film and it's like, okay, one of the better scramblers in the league, dual threat, if you want to say he's dual threat, right? Sure. Take away either one of his abilities, he's not top 10 or
Elite
maybe in the
athlete.
running category, but he's not a top 10 quarterback, period. Not top 15, not top 20, arguably top 20. But I mean, like what you're saying, like, dude,
Yeah,
if I'm a team that's trying to compete for an NFC West title, I don't need a top 20 back to and think that we're gonna go win. It's like that's not realistic. That's not gonna happen. We either need to move on, or like are you saying from Kyler's standpoint, hey, dude, we're putting in clauses just for you to watch film. You need to do a better
just
job.
watch. Yeah.
And shit, like you're saying, shoot, dude, if you're better at baseball, which I think he was a better baseball player, like prospect, go do that. You make more money, less impact on the body. You play a lot more games, a lot more travel. Whatnot. Like, dude, why not? Right? Why not?
Why not? Because he had me stressing. I had to pick him up on fantasy because guess who my other two quarterbacks were? Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence.
Hey, that's your
Justin
fault. That's
Fields is
poor
hurting Trevor Lawrence. You
drafting.
said what?
That's poor drafting on your end.
Man, look. So look, we about to get out of here real quick, but so I we initially set a draft date, right? It's a 14-team league. I'm in
Oh
two,
shit. Okay.
but this one's a 14-team league. We I did not even they changed the draft date from the original draft date, and I did not see because this is at work. And so this is
Mm.
going through email. I'm not even seeing all these emails. You know how many emails I get a day? Like, I'm not seeing all these emails.
Not worry about the
like
ESPN fantasy email.
like eh, like what that's probably going to my spam, if anything. Like,
Yeah,
so
literally.
so it's just like, okay. Um Jameer Gibbs saved me last week. And Derrick Henry's fumble did me a big one. I didn't like to see it on his part, but it did me. I needed it. I needed it. But so yeah, and you know what's even worse about the fact that I had Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence the 2 weeks that so one played good one week and the other played good the other week. I'm
You
talking
had it backwards.
25 plus each. They both were on my bench that week. Because week one, I played Trevor Lawrence. He shit the bed. The next week, I was like,
Yep.
oh, Justin Fields played well in week one. Oh, week two, he goes and gets hurt. Okay, he only scored 3 points that week. Had two quarterbacks, two back-to-back weeks, only scored 3 points. It is what it is.
Yep.
But speaking of hurt quarterbacks, man, Jaden Daniels is out again this week as my Commanders go down to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. But you know what? I ain't worried about it. If you saw what the hell the Falcons put on film last week against the um, Panthers, 30 ball, 30-0.
30-0.
Bring that Michael Penix is the state. I need you to play like that this week. I think Michael Penix is a good quarterback, but I need him to play like that this week. What's your thoughts on it on this game and who you got?
Yeah, like you said, Falcons dropped a goose egg last week, man. That was ugly. I watched that game, just bad, just bad. I mean, they started down early, missed a couple field goals, sucked the life right out of them. Pause, and then just continued to, and they just never were able to fight back. But yeah, Commanders. I think last week they're finding Mariota. He's gonna. I actually I forget which coach said it, but it was a coach in the league, and he said you only expect your backup quarterback to win you half of the games that you play. So if
Mm-hmm.
your starting quarterback's out for 6 weeks and you go 3-3 in that span, your backup did his job. I think the Commanders, obviously last week got the win. This week, I think they're in another really good spot to go and win, even though it's on the road. If they get the win today, they'll be fine.
Put up 40 last week. With, with he put up 40 last week. Yeah, I'm gonna take my Commanders though. These sorry ass Giants at 0-3 are starting Jackson Dart against the Chargers this week. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know what to say about it, so I'll let you go.
I'm hurt, man. I hate it for Russ. I hate it for Russ. He obviously
My boy just
hasn't he
went for
hasn't been
went for
playing.
450 2 weeks ago.
I know, man. I know. That was one of the. I think it was the second most yards he's ever had in a game in his career.
Yeah,
Um, which, it was prime Russ. It looked like we had finally seen Mister Unlimited
Russ was
breaking back into
cooking.
his old self. Yeah, he was cooking. He was good. Let Russ cook, man. But yeah, no. Last week struggled in week one. I knew at a certain point there'd probably be a change. I didn't think it was going to be within the first
Not
month
this early.
of the NFL season,
Yeah,
especially not against a top whatever defense the Chargers are. Well,
they're
really,
about to kill this man.
I mean, golly, and they play two different styles of quarterback. Obviously, Russell used to be the scrambler, more of a pocket guy now. Dart, definitely a true dual threat. I mean, he's probably a better runner than he is a passer in the league currently.
1000%.
Unless their game plan is to go out and just run, run, run. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one for the Giants to get a win.
Derwin James gonna have himself a day.
He get, he's going to body slam him like he did Travis Kelsey a few seasons ago.
It's going to be, yeah, Chargers by 50. Um, Eagles. Why did they? Okay, we need to take a timeout. We need to roll this back. All right. I don't like that they put the Eagles Bucks at 1 o'clock today, but we gotta watch the Colts rant. I'm not gonna say have to watch the Colts rant. I've got to watch the Ravens beat the dog mess out of the Chiefs today because they both 1-2.
Yep.
I think this would be better in the 4 o'clock window if I got to see Jalen Hurts versus Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has solidified himself as a top 10 quarterback in this league. I don't want to see two top 10 quarterbacks at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay.
Mm.
Because you're going to, like you're talking about that Panthers game, you're talking about watching it. You didn't have a choice. We get these regional
Yeah.
last games. We didn't have a choice. Unfortunately, we might not be able to watch this game because we're going to have some stupid ass Panthers game on Fox.
Oh, gotta love local listings, man. Gotta love it.
Like, this is a joke. But they're both 3-0. But I'll take the Eagles. I think the Eagles are they're just. It doesn't matter what you want to do. You want to put up 50 points. You want to score 10. It doesn't matter. They find ways to win football games. That's all it comes down to. They find ways to win football games.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Eagles Super Bowl champions for a reason, right? They're 3-0 for a reason.
Yeah.
I think we talked last week. We said I wouldn't be so. I remember saying I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams go out and beat the Eagles. Well, they had an opportunity, and guess what happened? Block field goal, scoop score for the touchdown to
Like,
win, and cover the spread. By the way, and cover the spread.
and
So I was
cover.
very
My
thankful for
boy,
that one.
6'8", running. They say he ran like 22 miles an hour. What the hell?
Hey, that big boy was rumbling, stumbling down the
He's
field, man.
sliding. Like, golly.
I love it. I love it. But yeah, I think Eagles once again is a dominant team, but the Bucks are not a team to sleep on at all. 3-0
No,
for a
no, no,
reason.
no.
Once again,
Yeah.
they also fought back. The Jets also had the blocked field goal last weekend when they played the Bucks, but the Bucks drove down the field and scored right back within the last minute and a half of the game. So there's no lack of offensive production from the Bucks. I think it's gonna be a really good game, but I do think the Eagles are gonna pull this one out.
Yeah. Yeah. But at 4:05 over on Fox, we have the Colts and the Rams. Colts are quietly 3-0. And they call him my boy Indiana Jones. He's out there going crazy. And if you're the Giants, Brian Daboll may need to be fired. Um, just slide. Like if I was walking past their door, I'd just slide that note up under the door and just be like, "Hey, everybody that y'all got rid of is having success somewhere else." So, um, but I think I'm gonna take the Rams. This game comes down to quarterback play, and although this is a magical year for Danny Dimes, he's no Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford's going. I don't care what anyone says. Matthew Stafford's going to the Hall of Fame. Yeah, yeah. That's it. That's why I'm gonna take the Rams in this one. And the Rams have Jared Verse.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you there. Stafford keeps the Rams in a lot of games, wins them a lot of games. To be honest with you, Daniel Jones has had a great season so far. I don't know if I fully believe it. I don't know if I fully believe the hype yet. I think he was no question better than Anthony Richardson, not even close. But for him to now be playing really good football for 3 weeks, but we've seen what he's done over the last 3 seasons. I don't know if this is just happened to be one of those really good stretches that he's having, where it's a few games of really good football, then he gets back, or if it is because he's on the new team, new system, and he's able to kind of go out and be who he was supposed to be whenever he first got drafted. Right? He was the Giants' 4th overall pick 6 years ago or something crazy like that. Like,
we were dumbfounded when they drafted him like that.
And there's a reason. There's a reason because there's better quarterbacks on the board. There's a reason, and those guys are still playing better than Daniel Jones now.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd hope that Daniel Jones doesn't revert back to the old Daniel Jones because I'm enjoying this. But Shane Steichen's a pretty good coach, so I think I'm gonna take the Rams. But over on CBS, we'll have the Ravens and the Chiefs, both 1-2. 3 weeks, 3 fumbles for Derrick Henry. Jeez, Derrick Henry. I don't know. Chiefs get Xavier Worthy back this week. But I just don't think the Chiefs are a good football team. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I'm gonna take the Ravens in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. I think the Ravens, their 2 losses have come from very, very good football teams. They lost by 1 in week 1 to the Bills on the road. Then they lose to the Lions this past week on a 1-score game, where they had every opportunity to go out and win. Unfortunately, as we've seen, Derrick Henry has fumbled 3 times in 3 weeks. I don't think that's a trend that's going to continue, especially not against this game. I think everybody from the Ravens is going to have that extra edge to going into this game, going into Arrowhead. I think Harbaugh's getting into the point now where he's getting pissed off about losing these games, these close ones, so they're going to go out and try to prove a point today. I'm going to take the Ravens by a couple scores at least, probably 10, 14 points.
Jeez. You think they're going to come out and do it to him like that?
I think so. I think they will.
I think they need to. They don't. But then our Sunday night game. Green Bay is going down to Dallas. Someone's asked do you think Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons speak to each other before the game? Not a chance in hell. A word it said.
Yeah, I don't think there's any love lost between those two.
No. The only love that's lost is going to be Micah putting Dak in the dirt. I'll take the Packers by like 21 today. At home. On the road. On the road in Dallas. Dallas.
Jeez.
That defense can't stop a cold. And they're not going to be able to put up any points. I think they might score 10 points today, maybe 17. Um, but Green Bay's gonna have a field day against that defense.
We will see. The Packers have had the Cowboys number regular season and playoff for the last like freaking what seems 15 years. So I do fully expect the Packers to go out and win this one pretty substantially. But I think the Cowboys will put up an okay fight. I think after their rough loss to shout out the Bears last week. Um,
That's the best game y'all played all season
it's the best game we will play. Period.
in 2 years.
Best game we played the last 5 seasons, dude. Oh man. But yeah, I think the Cowboys are going to have some type of chip going in the short of this game, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I got the Packers by like you said. I don't know if it's going to be 21, but I think it'll be a couple scores.
That chip don't matter because that chip ain't CD Lamb. CD ain't playing.
Yeah.
We saw what the hell they were doing against the Bears once he went out. They can't.
It's bad football. I mean, they try to
Bad-
put them in
bad
the
on
backfield
both
to get them
sides.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, oh my gosh. Now, granted, even as a Bears fan, I got to think it's a little cheesy or like, whatever you want to call it, to just call random trick plays to score touchdowns. But like, hey, it's fair game. I mean, it's fair
it
game.
worked. This in the NFL,
I
it
mean,
worked. I'm saying both sides of the ball from Dallas. But what are we
Mhm.
doing? Why do we think we should be putting at the professional level 185, 190 pounds? Like, bro, this is all cute and cool when we in high school. It's cool in college. But in the league, bro, I don't need at 185, 195 pounds. I don't need a 245-pound linebacker hitting my ass and rolling up on my ankle like that. Stop putting these niggas in the backfield. Not everybody is Debo Samuels, okay? Debo is 220 out there playing receiver, okay? Not everybody can do that. Not everybody is that. We gotta stop that. You get people hurt. We gotta stop it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and especially like in the field, like if you can't do it with your just regular running back, you don't have a good running back. Period. Like, sorry, we don't need to be handing you the football if our running back's supposed to be doing what he's doing, right? Now I can understand putting in like a specialty package for like the red zone or like goal line, and you need some type of funky formation to score. Love it, all for it. But yeah, like you're saying, we're on our own 42nd drive of the game. Why are we putting CD in pistol and handing him outside zone? It makes no sense.
You're putting him one-on-one with a linebacker and telling him to make a move.
Good luck. Good luck. Like you said, like he's getting, as soon as he's getting touched by a linebacker, he's getting tackled. It's not like it's a safety that's undersized. No, bro, this is a freaking Mike linebacker coming downhill.
And it's not even like this is open space where he can make a man miss. No, this linebacker is filling an alley. He's filling a gap, and he's putting his helmet through CD Lamb because he's coming downhill. Yes. His feet aren't stopping. He's reading and reacting. His feet are not stopping. It's one thing to be in open field where his feet have to stop or they may stop because CD can get shifty or something. No. They're trying to make CD Lamb a one cut back. Okay.
One cut back.
One cut back. Okay. Like, that's fucking Derrick. That's Derrick Henry. Like,
yeah. You trying to?
Did you hear what you just said? You put fucking CD Lamb in a pistol in a zone run. Like, what are we talking about?
You're gonna try to teach him. You're trying to teach your star receiver how to read overflowing linebackers. Like, dude, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. He understands how to run a slant and how to run a dig, man. You can't teach him how to read the backside alley cut on outside zone. Oh, backside.
My boy just learned where to sit in the zone in cover 3. Like, come on, what are we talking about? Like,
yeah. You said try.
I don't have
one. That was funny.
Like, what are we doing? Oh man. Shit. Brandon, you got any of your D3 shout outs this week?
I do. I got a few. All right, hold up. Let me pull this up. I had to write this down because there's a bunch. All right, here we go. So, Jordan, there's 3 Division III teams that played against Division II teams this past week.
Mm.
I want you to guess what Division III's record was at the end of the week.
All right. So the fact that you're giving me this question, I'll go 2-1.
They were 3-0 against
Mm.
Division II teams this past week. Brevard takes on Erskine, beats them in a shootout. They were actually down 21-0. Brevard was, and they fought
Mm.
back. Their quarterback Beamish threw for like 350 yards and 4 touchdowns to bring it back. Shout out.
Oh, he was like,
Uh,
yeah, he had himself a
yeah,
day.
he did. He did. University of Wisconsin lacrosse takes on Wayne State. Lacrosse gets the win there, 31-22. University of Wisconsin Oshkosh takes on Roosevelt, who
Gosh,
is
gosh. Okay.
yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, I don't know if you know much about D3 football. Those Wisconsin schools are like that. They are
Really?
like that. Yes, and I'll explain why in a second. Okay, Oshkosh beats Roosevelt 38-21. So yeah, we go. So D3 goes 3-0 in the week, and there was a Division III team that took on a Division I team, FCS. Greensboro College played Davidson College. Jordan, what do you think? Who do you think won that one, and what do you think the score was?
Greensboro's D3, right? Yes.
Yes.
Um, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say they got them a win. It was like 20. I'll go 24-21.
It started to look out that way. It was 7-0 at the end of the first in favor of Davidson. By halftime, it was 42-0 Davidson.
Oh my goodness!
They just ran up the score in that second quarter. Yeah, I think final score was like 49-0 Davidson, giving Davidson the first one of the season. So good for them.
Not a point though. Jeez.
Not a point. Well, I was trying to keep up with that game. It looks like the Greensboro's quarterback, he ended up throwing like 2 picks on their side of the field, and so like they just ran it up 14 easy points. The next thing you know, they're down 21 against
All right,
against a
that game
D1
over.
school. They just gave up.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, going back to Wisconsin schools Division III or that conference as a whole. There's no Division II schools in that area. Like Michigan, there's a
Okay.
couple. Wisconsin literally has 0 Division II schools. So if you're from Wisconsin, you're either going Division I or Division III.
Or Division 3. Okay.
So even dude, I'm dead serious. This is the craziest shit. The Division I like bounce backs, like University of Wisconsin, they'll go play for like Oshkosh.
They go to D3.
They go D3
Oh man.
because you got to think
They're out
like,
there
oh,
shitting on kids. Oh my goodness.
yeah, it's insane. It's insane. It's like no wonder these schools are beating these D2 schools because they
Yeah.
got Division I guys on the roster.
On the roster. Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, man. But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
and then one last one. Mary Hardin Baylor, Division III powerhouse out of Texas, is on the road today, traveling up to Mars Hill, North Carolina, to play
Okay.
the Mars Hill. What are they? Panthers, Cougars, something like that. I believe the kickoff there is at 12 or 1. So, and it's rainy. It's rainy out here in North Carolina today. So we'll
Yeah,
we'll
it
see
is.
we'll see what ends up happening in that one.
You know, there's too many schools here in North Carolina to really keep up with everybody's logo and stuff. Their
Yeah.
mascots. Yeah. But hey, if y'all enjoyed the random Division 2 and D3 facts from my boy Brandon, make sure y'all like and subscribe on YouTube, man. Drop some comments. Hey, game of the week next week. East versus West. Yeah, we'll be back next week with some more high school, college, and NFL talk.